You are not here, in business, in life, to be sitting on the fence and looking at other people doing what you want to do and wondering, when is it my time? It is your time right now to become your own leader, to learn how to trust yourself, and to fully embrace the gifts that you have and truly the greatness that lives within you. You might not be feeling that at the moment though, and I totally get it. You've been indoctrinated into a system that seeks to sell you on success, while at the same time convincing you it doesn't exist, or at least not in the way that you can access it, or that you can access it without paying $1 million, doing 1,000,000 things, and genuinely becoming someone you don't desire to be. And lovingly, please don't try and convince me that this isn't true. It is true for all of us. We keep getting sold. Yes, sold on an idea. And the reason why this keeps happening is because people make money off it. All of us have a desire for greatness, for more, to live and experience life in a way that is beyond our current level of attainment, of experience. And this is natural, this is normal, this is human nature. And in fact, that is why we buy into it so often. And I'm not here to tell you don't go for your dreams, or give up, or don't start that business. That is not what I'm here to say. But there is a different way, a way where you are the leader and not the follower. So let's talk about it. The reason why we keep really piling on all of this stress, thinking anxiously about what comes next, and we continue to, feed the dream machine, even though it doesn't seem like it's possible, is because you have within you, whether it's your soul, your intuition, your higher knowing, or even just the logical voice in your mind that can cut through all the bullshit. There is that part of you that realizes there is truth within these lies. And what happens is we are being called. You are being called to act upon this voice and to what is necessary and what is needed, and what I totally get, you're not quite there yet, is honing that ability to tune into you and to tune out those voices that are just there to sell, to convince, and to really keep you in a state of constant confusion and overwhelm. So let's deal with that today. Let's put you in the driver's seat and let's get you on board with being the natural leader of your own life. Because that internal seesaw feeling is enough to drive anyone away from their true power. And rather than stay on that seesaw, getting confused and sick and dizzy and being like, oh, I just need to get off and maybe I'm going to go home, is to, yes, get off and then choose to, I don't even know where this analogy is going, get on a slide where you're in control, maybe get out of the playground and, go off and do something you're actually interested in. And I've been there a lot as well, and I bet you have too, where it's just back and forth. One day you believe you can do it, the next day you're like, maybe it would be nice to just have a 9 to 5, sit back, kick back, and lose myself in Netflix in the evening. We've all been there. We all feel that. And I don't think I need to remind you that is not the direction we're heading in. But maybe that's somewhere where you find yourself today, or in this season of your life. You're caught in a loop of wanting to be the leader in your life while thinking, I just secretly wish someone would just take the lead or tell me it's not going to happen so I can just get on with my life. Hands up if that's you. The thing is, that voice that whispers the sweet nothings of going back to the 9 to 5, giving up on your dreams, or just wanting someone to come in and save you, this is the desperate plea of someone unconvinced of their potential. Whew. I'm feeling that really in my chest, in my heart space at the moment, and I know without a doubt it's going to resonate so much with so many of you. That agony of going, should I give up? And even if that's not the language in your head, it's the feeling in your heart. It's rough. Something I do in the membership quite often is we rub our hands together. And I invite you to do this now. I don't know how that's going to sound on the mic, so we'll just roll with it. So you're rubbing your hands together, and your left hand is love, And you're pouring the energy of love into that hand. You're visualizing, you're feeling, you're creating the energy of love in your left hand. And in the right is compassion. Pouring it in, pouring it in, pouring it in. And in between them, that heat, that tension, that feeling, and that building energy is anything else you need in this moment to soothe that aching heart, to heal that wound, and to give yourself what you need in this moment. And then you just put both hands to your chest and allow yourself to heal yourself. Allow yourself to hear yourself, to feel yourself, to know yourself on a deeper level, and to give yourself what you need. Because it's painful to be in this space. But we need to stay in this space so you can move through it, so you can grow through it, so you can become the person you desire to be and create the life you desire to live. You can keep your hands there, or you can remove them and do that as often as you need during, this beautiful episode or beyond. All right. So we're talking about a little bit more what it's like to be staying in this space, because you're probably very familiar to it, you're really used to it, and it might feel more comfortable than anything else. So let's unpack it a little bit. When we're in this pain of not being the leader of our own life, it kind of seems like the path has no end. You're like, I'm constantly doing stuff. I'm on the hamster wheel. Oh my God. I feel like I've worked all day and yet I've accomplished nothing, or I'm not further ahead, or I'm not where I need to be. And there's like all of this going on. I get it. And the kind of questions that may come up are like, how do I trust that the ideas and the visions are possible when I've not yet achieved it? Maybe you haven't achieved this success in this particular area, or with this particular business, or this particular offer. Or maybe you've had a little bit of success, but not the level of success that you're desiring. And so you question it. How do I trust if I don't know? Another question that might be coming through is, well, what I want to do has been done already. Maybe it's been done to death. Maybe it's been done too much. Maybe there isn't space for me in this space. What value would I add? Such a common one. I know it's come up for me, and it's come up, I think, with every client I've ever worked with on their business. It's like, whether it's like explicitly stated or just implicitly, coming through in the conversation, that question of, but who am I to do it? So if you're having that question, know that you're not alone. Literally everyone has that one. And that's not to diminish your feeling, your experience, because it feels like the truth. But I want you to see it as something that is not a problem, but a part of the path that you're on. It's like if you're going on a hike and you're walking down the path and there's like a hole in the ground. It's like that hole is not only there for you, it's there for everyone. Everyone needs to navigate it. Everyone needs to step over it. Everyone needs to go around it, or everyone needs to trip over it and fall into it because, you weren't looking, or it's the first time you've been there and you didn't see it, or you're looking at the birds or something like that. So know and trust. It's part of the path. It's not a problem that you uniquely have. This last one, I will admit it. I will dob myself in. I will, put my hand up and say, I've thought this many a time. I just want to, be successful first. I just want to, get that first 10K month, or get that 100K, or get that, insert here your goal. And you're like, then I'll worry about alignment. Then I'll worry about feeling good. Then I'll worry about work-life balance. Then I'll worry about holistically looking after my life. The thing is, that's also a bit of a trap and a bit of a trick. We need to be starting from a place of alignment from the start. Those things, all of the questions I just put out there, all of the thoughts that may have been running through your head, all of the doubts and the questions and the queries that are like, can I do this? These are small incremental shifts and compromises that lead us all, it's not just you, I promise, further away from your truth and the truly aligned business that you set to create in the first place. Because when you first wished for this future, you didn't include any of those worries, did you? Maybe when you started to think about the how, maybe when you started to think about the first time you need to post on social media, or change your bio on Instagram, or take some photos, whether you do them yourselves or get like a photo shoot or something, those worries weren't there when you first started to dream, right? Why does it seem to just keep being so present now? Well, it's because of the entrepreneurial path we've been sold on. Let's come back to that. The entrepreneurial path is one that has become physically accessible to nearly everyone. As long as you have an idea, an internet connection, and the time, you can start today. Like we all know, you don't even actually need an internet connection, but with the age of social media, it's more easier than ever to go down that route. But if all you needed was that level of access to be successful, that level of access that we all have, then we wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be in your office sitting down going, why isn't this working? You wouldn't be scrolling endlessly on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, hoping to just come across the idea, the strategy, the coach, the quote that is going to fix it all for you or just point you in the direction and make everything so obvious, like the clouds have parted, the sun's coming down, and you finally figured your shit out. You know, if it was that easy, if all we needed was access, we would all be where we want to be. I don't know a business owner, like a single business owner, that hasn't at some stage or is still currently in the stage of going, oh, I've just been doing it this way and I know I don't want to, but I don't know how else. Because the socially shared story of the intrepid entrepreneur doesn't help at all. It's equally weighed down by the contradictory commentary, which tells us it's anyone's game, while churning out statistics of failure, survival, and collapse. You can walk into a room, and I'm pretty sure it'd be like split 50-50 of people going, oh, it's the age of the entrepreneur. You can do anything. You could just, I don't know, fall down your front steps and start a business. And then there'll be equally as many people going, but have you seen the statistics? Have you heard the news? 1 in 5 businesses fail in the first year, and people are happy to pour water on your fire and try to put it out, whether they realize they're doing that or not. And like, don't minimize the impact these situations, say that 10 times fast, can have on you. Belief is infectious, so don't expose yourself to the wrong kind. If you walk into that room and people are telling a story, reinforcing a program, or just, you know, throwing shit at your dreams, you get to choose to walk out. And I would highly recommend doing that, or even just like switching off the part of your brain that is like filtering and actually factoring in those opinions. Even in the business world, or the slice of it that I'm in, seems to be inundated by superficial and low value content creators and courses. And genuinely, I know, genuinely, not out of malice, but ignorance, they've also bought into the desperate story that there is one way to make it work, which usually, genuinely, comes at the expense of authenticity, vulnerability, and true alignment. Do what works. Do what everyone else is doing. Do it as loud as possible, even if you don't quite believe it. But here's a radical thought. Success bought at the cost of your soul and your satisfaction and your definition of success is too high a price to pay. So I bet you're thinking, all right, if I can't do it like, you know, all the gurus on Instagram are telling me, and if I can't just keep following the latest cookie cutter courses, and if it's not just what everyone says it is, what do I do? How do I figure it out? Don't worry. Let's talk about your path. I know that you want to love your business. Maybe you've not admitted that yet. You've just been focused on the money, the growth, the next client, the first client. But let's bring it back down to what's important. You want to love your business, not just your bank account. We can have both. And even if survival makes it necessary at this stage that money is your focus, and I'm not discounting wanting money or having money as a focus. We all have bills and want to keep buying stuff that we like. Personally, I really, really, really enjoy going to new cafes, tasting new foods, and also getting my hair done every 7 weeks, which a while ago was something I couldn't even afford at all. So, you know, money does come in handy. However, it doesn't mean that you can't also commit to creating a genuine, aligned, and personalized business that suits you. This is not BS. I promise it's possible. And with more and more entrepreneurs choosing to embrace their unique and authentic visions and businesses, we will create a world that slowly shifts the dial to an abundance of genuine connection, content, and contribution. This is the world I'm working for. This is the world I'm creating for myself, for my clients, in the membership. It is all about genuine connection, content, and contribution. A future that is possible, a future that I want for you, a future that I want to make with you. Why do I care this much? Why am I here creating a whole freaking podcast around convincing you to do business your way, to follow your vision, to define what success means to you, and then to go after that? Let's turn to Simon Sinek and a quote that he beautifully shared and I found the other day. The greatest contribution of a leader is to make other leaders. My mission is to help other entrepreneurs build self-confidence, self-awareness, and the business they truly desire, in whatever shape, form, or income level that looks like. Because cookie cutter is out and customization is in. I have been in multiple coaching programs, masterminds, and courses that were simply not in alignment with me. I can see that now. I did not see it at the time, or I felt it. My intuition was blaring alarms, and I ignored it. My teacher's pet personality, my desire to just get it right, and yes, those voices I was talking about before that were like, can someone just come and save me and do it for me and just tell me it's going to be okay, was super strong. The consequence of that, however, I was taking action and seeding in goals and structures and SOPs that didn't match my desired vision. All the right boxes were being ticked, and yet I wasn't where I wanted to be. Mind, body, soul, or business. I genuinely had success. I couldn't have left teaching the start of last year, nearly 2 years. I couldn't have left teaching without having created the unaligned business that I had before. And that's not to say it was all shit or it was all bad or I was lying through my teeth or anything, but there was from the get-go a part of me that was like, I don't think this is me. I don't think this is my business. I don't think this is how I want to run it. But I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust my intuition. And it's easy to say that I didn't know better, but the part of me that I now trust above all else, that inner wisdom, knew. But I didn't know to listen to it. It kind of, and this is going to sound like a really weird analogy or metaphor or whatever the word is, but it felt like using Lego to build a cake. It might look similar, especially from a distance, and the abstract artist in me can appreciate the unorthodox creation. I love to mess things up and go against the rules. But in the end, it was all wasted effort and took even more time to clean up and start again. Cue me signing up to another course. That might sound stupid, but like genuinely, I was like, oh my God, this one didn't work. I don't think it was in alignment. The answer must be someone else that looks like they have their shit together. Spoiler, that also didn't work. And I'm not going to say here that all courses are crap, all coaches are liars. There is something to be said for approaching things with eyes wide open, taking what you need, taking what aligns, and also being able to filter through other people's bullshit. Because whilst there are more people out there who are authentic, genuine, and doing the right thing, there are still some. And unfortunately, sometimes these people get a lot more press and a lot more growth and they seem a lot more shiny because they know how to spin a tale and not necessarily provide value. So beyond the money, over $30,000, the time and the resources I spent going down this unaligned path, the harshest cost came from within. There was this level of internal indoctrination which made everything at the time seem extremely logical and obvious. It was like, of course, I should be aiming for $1 million within 3 years. Am I stupid? Am I lazy? Or do I simply not want to be successful enough? Anytime in those containers where aiming lower and Not lower as in low, like, oh, I hope I can make $1, but just like not having $1 million goals or wanting a 7-figure business. It was sort of met with a level of, you just don't want it enough. You're just not serious enough. You're just not committed enough, which was a real mindfuck, to be honest. Just a little aside here, if your goals in business don't look like other people's, or the dollar figure that you're aiming for doesn't look like other people's, it's okay. You do not have to have a business that makes $1 million, that has 100 team members and is, global to be legitimate. It's all about your authentic business. That's what makes it legit. So this same system for success did not for a moment offer the time or space to consider, was that what I truly wanted? And that's what I'm offering to you today. The time, the space, the energy, the permission if you need it, though, like, you're stepping up into being the leader of your life and business. So give yourself the permission. Ask yourself the question, what do I truly want? Money, clients, what numbers come up in your head? How often do you want to be available? How many days a week do you want to work? How many hours a day of those days a week do you want to work? Get clear on what you want. My soul, my intuition, my emotions were taking so many hits because they were ignored and set aside over the advice from someone more successful than me. Mistake, lesson I have learnt. I talk about this. I teach about this. I am highly connected to my intuition. And if I'm not doing my mindset work, if I'm not staying clear on my North Star, my vision, my boundaries, my rules, my standards, I can slip straight back into it as well. So this isn't a competition. It's human nature again. We just need to be conscious of it. And all of that eroded my confidence rather than built it. Because at a fundamental level, I felt wrong for wanting what I needed. And again and again and again today, I want to emphasize what you want is what matters. Highlight that if you're taking notes. And what I came up with when I really got to this space, and I want to share it with you because I think it helps to see the radically different visions of success that people can have. And I'm going to read this and you might be going, oh my God, that's what she's aiming for? Or you might go, oh my God, that's what I want to be aiming for, or at least a part of it, a piece of it. You can do that. So this is hopefully a doorway into seeing just someone owning their vision, owning their business, and owning what they want. So picture this. You're feeling a little lost, a little unaligned, and maybe even like you're ready to step into a whole new level of you-ness in your life, your creativity, your business. And so off you go, digitally, of course, to the witch in the woods, the lady with the lantern to light your way to clarity, confidence, and the creation of the future you desire. Together we have fun, we make magic, and it comes through ease, grace, and peaceful action. It's a little snapshot, but that's the vibe. That's the energy. It's the reason the community I built, Soul-Led and Satisfied, encourages the unique creation and alignment of life and business. Because I know that learning how to know yourself, capital K, know yourself, honor yourself, and you use that to build a business you love, that's priceless, like genuinely. I think it is the minimum you should be doing, learning to know yourself, honor yourself, and build your business through that. And it begins by you learning how to trust yourself as well. We are so used to devaluing our own ideas and overvaluing the ideas of those we perceive as successful or desirable that we don't have a faithful view of ourselves or our capabilities. You've been trained out of trusting yourself. Are you ready to change that? I'm going to assume that you all said yes. Let's begin developing your skills to experiment and discover what it is you truly desire from life and business on your own path, not following someone else's. And there are two essential parts to this path: alignment and awareness. Alignment comes through awareness, and awareness comes from looking within. If you don't know what you want, and what you are aiming for, it will naturally fall to chaos and confusion. And these are two of the most insidious enemies of a successful life in business. It'll leave you chasing your tail, spinning in circles, and then just going and having a nap because it's all too hard. Grab a pen and paper. If you can't grab a pen and paper, that's totally all right. I want you to come back to this section, but for now, just listen in, contemplate, reflect, and allow yourself to look inwards. First question, why did you start or are starting your business? Get clear on your why. Next question, what goals and milestones are you desiring to achieve? More clarity. Next, where do you think these desires are coming from? Examine these desires. Is it a passion, a person, something from the past, or even your perception of what your future will look like? Are you currently in alignment with these goals? Why and why not? Take them one by one to do this examination. Who will you need to become in order to create them? Working on self is just as important as working on business here. And finally, will you truly enjoy the outcome if you are successful? This is a good one to check in if your goals and your milestones and your vision are influenced by others still or are truly in alignment with what you desire. So there is great power in being connected to what you desire and willing to ditch what you don't. I actually ran an entire challenge multiple times called Ditch the Doubt because it is so important and also so resourced when it comes to courses and education and ways to do this, to declutter, to remove, and to let go of what doesn't work. This journey isn't taken all in one day though, so allow yourself to step away after you've done your journaling. Like genuinely pour it out, channel it out, do the answers, step away. You might want to come back and do them again or revisit or reflect. You might find that was enough to open the doorways that needed to be opened, to chuck out the junk that needed to be chucked out. Do you? This isn't a race to the finish, but a journey of a lifetime, which means you can rest, take your time, and enjoy the present moment. It's like an extra gift I'm giving you today. It's like we do not need to hustle the business, and also we do not need to hustle your personal growth, your development. All of it gets to be aligned. All of it gets to be with ease and grace. If you are inspired to act, of course you can, and I'd love to hear all about it. So tag me in your posts, respond to this, and if you are ready to have a community around you committed to doing this work, I invite you to join us in Soul Led and Satisfied. It's the membership for entrepreneurs who are interested in holistic living, the creation of a business that suits you, and also the support and accountability to actually take actions towards it. You can find out more in the show notes or by reaching out to me directly or checking out the website, www.nikkiwaters.com/membership. Now, before I sign off and you go and journal your questions, let us emphasize the need for this journey to be your own. Remember, this is all about you becoming the leader of your life. So don't blindly follow what I've said. Use it as ways to examine, to shine a light upon, and to get to know yourself better. Remember, it's awareness so you can be more in alignment. And please acknowledge that it takes time and spaciousness to release the conditioning and the habits of a lifetime. So be gentle. And then show up next time so we can continue this journey together. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy becoming the leader of your life, stepping into alignment. And of course, these journal prompts are just the start. Congratulations on taking the first step.